Hello everyone and welcome to today's session. My name is Elena and I'm from Belkasoft. During this webinar we will discuss some details about WeChat, including the number of people who use WeChat, the reasons why WeChat is so popular in China and within Asian communities around the world, the features of the app and the way in which the app data is encrypted and transmitted. We will then discuss the nature of the evidence itself, common sources of evidence, examination of this evidence in the cases such as transactions and contractual obligations that have not been honored, family law disputes, employment law disputes, and criminal charges. We will also discuss some of the challenges experienced by examiners when extracting, analyzing, and reporting on matters involving WeChat evidence. And my colleague Jared will make a demonstration of the Belkasoft X capabilities in terms of WeChat acquisition and analysis on iOS and Android platforms. A few words about the family of Belkasoft products. There are 4 products in the Belkasoft product portfolio. They are Belkasoft Evidence Center X, Belkasoft Remote Acquisition, Belkasoft Triage, and Belkasoft Incident Investigations. Belkasoft X is our main product or even platform, which evolved from our older Belkasoft Evidence Center. The product allows you to investigate both mobile and computer devices. In particular, the product supports hundreds of forensically important system artifacts for Windows, macOS, iOS, and Android. Belkasoft X includes hundreds of man-years of development, tons of talks with customers, thousands of implemented feature requests from our users, modern interface with simplified yet flexible and powerful workflow, and numerous usability studies we conducted during the last years. One more product in our product portfolio is Belkasoft Triage or Belkasoft T. It's a digital forensic tool developed specifically for a quick triage of a live Windows computer. The key features of Belkasoft T are as those. The product can be launched right from a dongle. With Belkasoft T, you will be able to detect more than 1500 computer, mobile, and cloud artifact types. Belkasoft T allows automated acquisition of a computer, RAM dump, and a partial or full export of discovered profiles. There are even more cool features in the product. One more product which is a part of our product portfolio is Belkasoft Remote Acquisition. It is a tool developed specifically for remote extraction of hard and removable drives, volatile memory, connected mobile devices based on Android and iOS operating system, and selected types of artifacts. The product will be useful for the customers like companies with multiple offices, and the internal incident response team, companies doing forensic services, companies with a need for simple e-discovery, specific types of law enforcement, and other types of customers who need remote imaging. Belkasoft Incident Investigations, a tool for digital incident investigations developed specifically for businesses and aimed to investigate hacking attempts of Windows-based computers. In this product, you can find such features as suspicious traces detection in most typical locations, including registries, event logs, and less-known files. Analysis of how malicious code persisted in the system by analyzing services, scheduled tasks, WMI subscriptions, and so on. How and when malware was executed by examining various artifacts such as Mcache and Shimcache, Syscache, background activity moderator, and desktop activity moderator. Extraction of remote connections details including IP and timestamps for RDP and TeamViewer. There is also a capability to find potential initial attack vector by analyzing recently opened documents and browser links and latest downloads, and search inside extracted information, bookmark important data, and create reports in multiple formats. So WeChat is one of the world's most successful chat apps. If you are a digital forensic examiner, the chances are that you've heard of it and probably even worked with it. WeChat is commonly referred to as a super app, and it is most likely attributed to the number of WeChat users in combination with the many user-friendly features that WeChat offers. It is commonly reported that WeChat has more than 1 billion users per day, predominantly in China, though there are some users in other Asian countries. WeChat is so popular in China due to the national policy specifics. Within the context of such an environment, it was almost inevitable that technologies such as WeChat would explode in popularity. In most cases, it serves to allow individuals and groups to privately and securely communicate digitally. Security in WeChat is achieved through encrypting the data while it is in transmission. However, WeChat communications are somewhat unique, as transmitted data is encrypted and sent to servers located in China, and only after that to the end user. This type of data transmission is not common in chat apps like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, or Telegram. Once users began to use WeChat, word of its utility spread. As a result, developers responded by adding features, and WeChat has only increased exponentially in popularity over the course of its existence. Users communicate with one another or within WeChat groups of users by sending text messages to one another, including various emojis and stickers that are popular and enjoyable features in the chat app. Users are also able to exchange voice messages by making a recording and sending it to a contact. Digital images and videos may be sent as well. WeChat has added features to allow users to perform business transactions and transfers of currency to one another. Many businesses accept payment through WeChat, such as taxi services and food providers. A special business account must be set up to accept business payment, and WeChat restricts businesses' account users to businesses that are not officially registered in China. Money transfers from personal users to personal users are not restricted by geographical location within WeChat. With such features available and the number of users that enjoy all the benefits of WeChat, it is no surprise that the app has been given the highly appropriate label of a super app. WeChat evidence can be a useful resource for examining communications and exchange of information and currency between users. This evidence can often be used to corroborate or call into question someone's version of events within the context of a criminal prosecution or civil litigation dispute. It is generally a fairly routine job to extract data from WeChat. However, there can be challenges processing and reporting the evidence. Some of the challenges encountered in the past involve difficulties in viewing the messages in sequence in which stickers, videos, and images were also exchanged in the same communication string. The problem in working in this fashion is that a great reliance is placed on the awareness of the forensic examiner working on the file. Unless the examiner is very clear about the context of the communication and the context within which the stickers, images, and videos were exchanged, there may be an error in presenting them in the report. To compound the problem, the evidence is often in Chinese or its dialects, and unless the examiner is fluent in the language of the communication between the WeChat users, there may be a greater likelihood that a human error could result. And now let's discuss where WeChat stores its data on Android platform. So Android WeChat history is stored in the encrypted SQLite database and micro_msg.db. This database is encrypted using the SQL Cipher plugin, and it is an open source extension that is used for encrypting the entire database with 256-bit AES encryption. Nevertheless, the positive aspect about this encryption is that the key for decrypting the file is present on the device itself. So if we speak about Belkasoft X, it looks for encrypted Android WeChat databases and asks for user input when such a database is found. Our product is able to decrypt Android WeChat using device IMEI and user UIN provided. If UIN was found and extracted from a data source, it will be displayed on the WeChat decryption options dialog window. In Android devices, messages are extracted from the message table and contacts are extracted from the rContact table. As for iOS WeChat history, it is stored in the SQLite database mm.SQLite. This database is usually unencrypted. In iOS devices, messages are extracted from tables starting with chat, and contacts are extracted from the friend table. Using Belkasoft X, an examiner can filter through acquired messages using a number of criteria, search for evidence among all data sources and artifact types, bookmark important data, and create a clean, user-friendly report in a variety of common formats and file extensions. And now let's have a look how you can decrypt and analyze WeChat in Belkasoft X. My colleague Jared will show more at the demo session.
For this portion of the demonstration, we'll be covering how Belkasoft Evidence Center X is able to decrypt and analyze WeChat messages. Here we are in Belkasoft X. We're going to add our data source. We select Add Existing, Folder, browse to where our folder is being saved that's holding our WeChat, and select OK. Next, we're just going to keep everything default. Other than artifacts, we are going to uncheck this, do a filter for WeChat. It will bring up chats. We select chats and then choose what operating system we're working with. This one we're choosing Android. Select next, and the rest is going to be default. We'll select complete and wait for it to analyze our data set. To view where we're at with our data source, we select tasks. It'll open up the running task tab. Let us know the percentage of completeness. Now, while looking at this, you will see two little triangles pop up. They're orange warning triangles. What this means is that you need to enter information. So here we're looking at the WeChat message.db. It says, okay, we need your IMEI and your UIN in order to decrypt this WeChat backup. So where we're going to pull this information from is going to be from our system prefs.xml and app brand global sp.xml. So you'll be able to find your UIN from here, right here, and you can enter that information in the block. And then for the IMI, we're simply just going to look at our device. So you can go to settings, you can go to about, and pull the IMEI number that's going to be used for this location. So we put the IMEI number in, and with the IMEI and UIN, we're able to decrypt the WeChat database, and now we can join our artifacts to see, what it was that we were able to pull. So selecting the WeChat, simply here, we can either look at it in gallery view, bubble chat, or in grid view. We can filter by time. We can choose what columns we want in our Belkasoft X viewer here. You can change the direction that you want this to be. So if you want to and from to kind of be at the top, you can certainly do that. We select apply or OK, and it's going to change our columns to what we just set. Selecting a single artifact, we can break open a hex viewer either in the bottom of the screen, or we can expand this hex viewer into a full screen. You can see the different types of artifacts that we're able to pull, such as geolocation data, the one we're on now. We check it. We can open the checked item on a map. From there, we can view that artifact on the built-in viewer. Now, looking at this particular artifact, we can tell, is this artifact deleted? Did the person ever view the message that was sent? Did you send it? Did you receive it? That type of information is going to be seen in your columns. The Properties tab over on the right-hand side gives you information such as the origin path, what data set did this come from, gives you your metadata of the file, when was it sent, when was it received, so on and so forth. So now we're going to go ahead and add another additional WeChat, but this time we're going to go for iOS. We're going to follow the same structure. We're going to find our WhatsApp database folder. This time, again, we can filter by WeChat. We'll select chats, and this time we'll select iOS. Select the iOS, select next. Okay, again, we're looking at the bubble view of our chat messages. You can see we have some file transfers here. Again, we can look at it in grid view if you like a more compact view. Looking at this, these specific artifacts can be done in a hex viewer, a built-in SQLite viewer. We can view the attachments of those text messages. If you don't want to look at the SQLite viewer in that small screen at the bottom, you click that expand button right next to SQLite, and it will populate into a full screen viewer. You see that we do have write-ahead log support, the little purple bubbles under record type. We also have free list support, so anything that was marked for deletion, if you were lucky enough to catch that. So right-clicking a chat bubble, we can choose Show on File System, and it'll bring us to the database that's housing those messages within the file system. So this is our file system viewer. You can see we have an MFT info header viewer. So another thing that we can do from here is we can right-click on a chat and choose Show Contacts. This will actually break out the contacts of that individual, like who they were messaging with. So you can kind of see the person they were messaging with the most was this person here at the bottom, Detective Bloor, Martha Hudson. So we're kind of going back and forth. And if you want to collapse that, you can choose to hide contacts, and it'll bring it back into one little artifact window again instead of broken out into individual. So you can see we did it both for Android and iOS. There's only one contact under the iOS version. Next, we jump to our timeline viewer. So there's different ways you can look at it. We can either right-click on these bars and get artifacts and jump directly to those artifacts by selecting one of these. So we select it, it brings us directly back to that artifact. So that's one way to kind of jump back and forth from the timeline. Now, let's select some of these artifacts and create a bookmark for that item. We create the bookmark, we select a category. You can change the name of these categories in your settings, by the way. But let's name the bookmark. So this one we name WeChat, so it creates a nice little bookmark. We jump down from the Android image to the iOS image, and we're going to create additional bookmarks. So like this picture. Okay, we like this picture, let's bookmark it. We select it, right click, create a bookmark for WeChat. And now what we're going to do is select our bookmarks viewer. And we see the different things that we selected to have the WeChat bookmark. So all those can be viewed within your bookmarks pane. Again, everything's built in. So the picture viewer, all built in. You can select them all and you can edit the bookmark, you can remove them, or you can create a report for your bookmarks. So you choose your formats, you go into advanced options, you can change your sorting. If you have a logo, you can add it here. You can select a specific font. So if your company has a specific font they utilize, how do you want to split up your artifacts? Do you want to attach pictures? Do you want to blur pictures detected as pornography? Columns. Of the artifacts that you've selected, these are the columns that are available. You can pick and choose what you want on your report. And then folders. Do you want to create subfolders or do you want everything in one? So we select apply, select OK, and we have a little checkbox that says open the report whenever it's complete. So now we wait and the report is generated. So this is just an example of what an HTML format report looks like. So you have your basic case information and your artifacts nicely displayed in a nice HTML report.
Thank you, Jared. So this is it for today. If you are interested in testing any of the Belkasoft products by yourself, don't hesitate to request it on our website. Please also note that the Belkasoft X free trial doesn't contain Checkmate. We also have special up to 95% discounts for educational organizations. In case of any questions, you may contact us by email shown on the screen. And our pricing is much more affordable than that of competition. We also have several types of training available for you. And thank you for listening to the webinar. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Type it in chat.